Today is Friday, January 13th, 2017, and a very big story going on right now. It's all over social media. It's all over the internet. It's all over the radio airwaves, maybe even TV coming up here soon, is Steve Harvey meeting with Donald Trump, right? The cameras caught him coming out the Trump Tower. Him and Trump had, a nice little photo op and handshake and everything else. And Steve Harvey spoke to the media for a while. I will play that clip in a little bit, but before I get into the actual clip, what I want to do is tell you about Steve Harvey if you don't know. Maybe you're not an American, maybe you're not really into TV or whatever it is. But Steve Harvey is a very, very big celebrity. He has been a celebrity for a very long time. He started off as just a comedian doing road shows. He eventually got his very big break. I think his biggest break was a thing called the Kings of Comedy. That was about 15 years ago, where he and three other comedians, that was Bernie Mac, Cedric the Entertainer, and D.L. Hughley, they all went on a multi-city tour and they filmed it, and then they put out like a DVD, and it was very big, very successful, and it kind of jump-started a lot of their careers. A lot of the other guys have had success before then. I think at that point, D.L. Hughley may have had his TV show, or it may have been a little bit before that, but the other people were able to kind of branch off and do different things. Cedric the Entertainer and Steve Harvey had a show a few years back. I think it was called the Steve Harvey Show. And this show now is also called the Steve Harvey Show, but it's a talk show. Back then it was like a sitcom kind of thing. But all these guys have had very successful careers, but especially Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey currently has a syndicated radio show, which is very popular, and also a TV show. I think it comes on the CW. And he's also a host of many different award shows, all kind of shows. I think he does Family Feud. Steve Harvey is pretty much a mega star in the United States and maybe even the world. Many of you may know him from the infamous kerfuffle at the Miss Universe, where he gave out the wrong name. Many of you may come from my channel from the Philippines. You remember that one? That was pretty embarrassing for him. But beyond all that, beyond just the embarrassing moment, Steve Harvey is a very big celebrity. Now, for him to meet with Donald Trump is very big, because throughout the campaign, he had been a Hillary Clinton supporter, or at least it appeared that way. He had Hillary Clinton on his actual TV show during the campaign. Now, the interview they had was scripted, of course, because that's part of her whole campaign strategy. But, for her to go and be on the Steve Harvey Show and for Trump not to go kind of says a lot. And there's been a lot of other things, like I said earlier, that he's been saying about Trump throughout this campaign and afterwards that would kind of make you think that he's not a Trump supporter, and maybe he's not. But I think he was able to put all that to the side to go ahead and meet with him. And what I want to do right now is go ahead and roll the video. I won't have anything else to say after the video is over. I want you to go ahead and watch it, get the full thing. Shout out to C-SPAN for the video. This is great. Some of the camera angles are a little wonky when it first starts, but once you are able to kind of get into the video, it improves. But the message and the audio of the video is crystal clear, and you're able to identify all of what's going on, and you're able to understand why he went to Trump Tower and met with Donald Trump. And for further reading, I'll put some links in the box below where you gave your interview on TMZ. I would link that one, but they will strike my channel ASAP because they're pretty strict over there with all those lawyers, but I digress. I just want to play the C-SPAN thing for you right quick to go ahead and get it out to you, and then you're able to kind of see it, make your own mind up. And after you see it, I want you to give me your opinion in the box below. Do you think it's a good thing for Steve Harvey to meet with Donald Trump? Do you think it's a bad thing? If you think it's a bad thing, then why? If you think it's good, then why? Personally, as I close, before we get to the video, I think it's a good thing because Steve Harvey has a very influential platform. He's a very big celebrity, not just in Black America, but in America as a whole. And I think his influence will be able to stretch far beyond just a very small platform. He'll be able to get a large audience to at least be open-minded to Donald Trump as a president and be able to reach out to him to see if they're able to kind of get anything accomplished, to get any kind of goals reached. So that's pretty much all I got for now. Whatever your comments are, let me know in the box below. And right now, I'll bring you to the video. So without further ado, go ahead and roll it.
Here we go. Everybody, great friend of ours, Steve. Everybody knows Steve Harvey. Everyone having fun? You having fun? Sure. Steve just came up to say hello. Steve, Mr. Trump.
Mr. Trump, can I ask you, sir, how concerned are you some of your cabinet nominees are speaking on Capitol Hill on issues like Russia, Iran, the border wall, and some of their statements conflict with some of what you have said in the past?
No, that all gets straightened out. We want them to be themselves, and I told them, be yourselves and say what you want to say. Don't worry about me. And I'm going to do the right thing, whatever it is. I may be right, and they may be right. But I said, be yourselves. What do you say, Steve? Let them do it. I could have said, do this, say that. I don't want that. I want them all to be themselves.
Okay, and on repeal,
everybody okay?
Yes, sir,
everybody
on
good?
Repeal and replace.
Thank you. Thank you. Say hello to Harvey. Repeal and replace is going great.
Sir, Mr. Trump,
Yeah.
Sir, what exactly did you discuss with Mr. Trump? Are you going to work on a TV show with him, sir?
Oh, no. I was invited here by both transition teams, Obama's transition team and Trump's transition team. And it was really a really cool meeting in the beginning. We talked a lot about golf and things like that, and people we knew and people in common. And then we got down to the crux of it. He's introduced me to Ben Carson, who's now the new head of housing for urban development. And we're going to team up and see if we can bring about some positive change in the inner cities, which I felt was my only agenda, and he agreed, and he wants to do something. And he realizes that he needs some allies in that department, and he seemed really sincere about it. I mean,
Chicago being one.
Chicago is definitely one. Another one they want to start with as a target is Detroit. Ben Carson expressed that, because quite naturally he's from Detroit. I want to do some things with on all of the major inner cities to see if we can bring about some change and help some of these young people out. And so that's why I'm here, and it was a successful meeting, and he seemed really sincere.
Thank you, sir.
Steve, I love your jump program. So is this like something like a jump program? Is this like your initial jump into politics, Steve?
Well, you know, it's not my jump into politics. I ain't gonna pass a background check, but it's just me following orders from my friend, President Obama, who said, Steve, you gotta, as he told everybody, get out behind your computer, stop tweeting and texting, and get out there and sit down and talk. So I stepped from behind my microphone and I came and talked to the guy that's going to be the 45th president of the United States. I did what I was supposed to do.
How did the meeting come about? Who got in touch with you?
The transition team from President Obama and the transition team from Donald Trump got me on the phone about a week or so ago.
In the inauguration, or did you talk about?
No, I'll be turning 60 on Tuesday, and my wife is taking me far away. So I won't be at anybody's inauguration because my wife said no. The Trumps being on Family Feud. Yeah, against the Obamas. That'll be good. Or how about the Clintons? If I could set it up, it'd be skyrocketing for the ratings. Yeah.
Is it worth getting, maybe you should call them, start putting those calls in this afternoon?
I would, you know. I'm handling everything pretty good. You know, of course, it's an honor to be invited to talk, and I think that's the only way that we're going to unify our country. We got to talk, you know. President Obama said you got to sit down and talk, and I really enjoyed the conversation. He seemed really sincere. He was a genuine person in the meeting.
Do you have any lingering things you still want to talk further about, or you're still concerned about, you haven't quite heard what you want to hear yet, or
well, I mean,
you're exactly on the same page now?
For this, we got off to a great start. I think it could be the beginning of something, but for them to invite me here to talk about a specific problem and thought that I might be able to help. I know I got a big radio show, you know, I got a lot of people listening every morning, so I've always been concerned about inner city problems because they're huge. My mentoring my mentoring program has been a part of this type of, and that's what I want to see happen. And they were spot on with it. And Ben Carson got on the phone. I met with him over the phone today, but I sat with President-elect Trump, and we laughed a little bit. You know, I ain't been laughing that much over the past few days. They kind of beating me up on the internet right now for no reason, but you know, that's life, ain't it?
What did you laugh over?
Well, we talked about golf. We laughed about my score in golf, his score in golf. We talked about some of the friends that we have in common, Mark Burnett. Talked about TV shows, things like that. He's a fan, so he's seen it. I met his daughter; she was very sweet. So, I think we're off to a good start.
Steve, how do you move between being a comedian and a spokesperson, and being Steve Harvey, trying to also get the message out to the people, to everyone, and have that comedian and?
Well, you know, it's two things in your life. Your career is what you're paid for, and your calling is what you're made for. So I have a responsibility to the community that I service to try to be a voice and speak on some issues. And so they've heard me. They know where I stood on the election. But nothing's changed. But we got to talk. And I thought he was a great guy. You know, we really had a nice conversation.
There has been a lot of doubt about his administration, about race. Jeff Sessions, his record in Alabama, some of the things the president-elect said during the campaign trail about the inner cities.
Yeah.
Are your doubts fully gone, or are you going to still try and work them out with him?
Well, I mean, you know, look, you don't kill it with one conversation, but you can start it with the conversation. So, you know, a lot about what people say, well, now it's time to see what you do. So, and he said he wanted to do something. You can't beat better than that, you know, and so we're going to see. I've been put in contact with Ben Carson, which was great. I spoke with him, and so we're gonna get some things started. And they have a plan for the inner cities, but they need help, and so that's why they called me. And so I'm assuming. So we'll see what I can do.
Steve,
Yeah.
do you support the Sessions nomination?
The Sessions nomination.
Yeah.
I don't really know anything about it.
I mean, Ed, you were asking that. You know, he had a testy hearing this week in which some questioned whether or not he was on the right side of history in terms of his work in the civil rights.
Yeah.
I thought it was be careful.
Well, yeah. I mean.
But is it something you've not sort of?
Well, I don't really like commenting on stuff I don't really understand or know about. You know, I'm not a politician, man. To be honest with you, I'm hoping that these people can straighten it all out. But I want to get in here and just do my share. And I had a good conversation, and man, so moving forward, it ought to be good. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you,
y'all
Steve.
very
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Do that.